Fonts, what can I say?
What's your favorite?
I'm a big fan of Cocktail Bubbly.
What does it look like?
You will see it soon, Dylan. Have no fear.
We have to go with that Mr. Sakai Palatino.
Palatino.
Bold. Bold.
Palatino. What's next? Some Comic Sans Serif?
It's Mr. Sakai's favorite.
Oh,
Palatino
the
Gold.
best.
Palatino.
If you didn't put it in, he'd dock some mark.
For real. What are we talking about? Font.
All right.
I don't see it.
It's not in this block. You'll see Cocktail Bubbly soon, buddy.
All of it.
Okay, here we go. You guys have already heard this term, BEDMAS. You know what it means. You've heard it in the past. But some teachers write it differently. They use different letters, and that's cool. We'll talk about that in a minute. Just to remind you, already know how to do it, but let's make sure everybody's comfy. The first one, yes, indeed, it stands for the word brackets. Now, here's the problem with brackets. These brackets, guys, these brackets must contain a math operation. What are the four math operations? There's only four. Add, subtract, multiply, or divide. It must contain one of those. And here's why I am telling you this. Because a lot of kids will see what I'm about to write, and I'm writing it in red because it's not correct. Negative 7.2. Is that a BEDMAS bracket? No, because there is no mathematical operation contained in it. That bracket is there to show that that is negative 7.2, not subtraction of 7.2. Do you understand? Everybody with me? So when you see questions, if you see something like that, kids will say, no, start with the brackets! Just like they say, two negatives are positive! No, because this does not contain an operation. Everybody cool? Okay. Then the next one is, yes, indeed, exponents, which we aren't going to spend any time with in this unit, because we've got a whole unit on exponents next unit. So I'm just going to remind you quickly what they are. 2 squared, it's that little number up there. And then this is division, this is multiplication. Now here's the next problem kids have. Every teacher tells you they're the same. So which one do you do first? No. No. Whatever comes first. You do these in order from left to right. You always start on the left and you do the division first. Or the multiplication first, whatever is furthest to the left. Everybody cool? And then, of course, addition and subtraction are the same thing. You do them in order. From left to right. Now, the next thing that messes kids up is what I'm about to write over here. BEDMAS, or as some teachers like to write it, PEMDAS, parentheses, exponents, multiply, division, add, subtract, because technically that is a parenthesis, it is not a bracket. A bracket is a square thing. I'm not a square thing.
Teachers are.
Some teachers get a little crazy, they insist on that. But then, of course, both of them are stupid because in math, sometimes you have brackets with parentheses inside, minus 7, and then there's brackets and parentheses. So neither one of them works. So I say chill out, people. There are more important things than deciding if it's a parenthesis or a bracket. But whatever. BEDMAS And this is key. This is what kids always forget. BEDMAS is always in effect. What do I mean by that? If it's all numbers, BEDMAS rules apply. If there's variables, BEDMAS rules apply. If there's fractions, BEDMAS rules apply. If there's decimals, BEDMAS rules apply. Always. Even if these are mixed up, even if you have decimals with variables and fractions, you still follow the BEDMAS rules. Just because it looks different doesn't mean you do the math any differently. Cool? Yeah. All right. Now, the next mistake that you guys make is, again, you refuse to show work. You think that you can make it all happen in your calculator. But most of you don't know how to use your calculator properly, so you get the answers wrong. This question here, how would you do this? You run it through BEDMAS, right? So are there any brackets?
No.
No, there aren't, Dylan. Why?
Because the brackets are for the negative number.
They're for the negative. There is no math operation there. So that is not a BEDMAS-y bracket, is it? So we aren't going to do anything with that. So there's no brackets and there's no exponents. So then what? What's next? Division. Is there some division?
Yes.
Yeah, right here. Now here is where you guys screw up. This division here needs to be taken care of, yes? So what I like to do is I go ahead and I put brackets around that division because I'm doing it first. And then what's next? Multiplying. Is there some multiplying?
Yes.
It's right here. So then I go ahead and I put brackets around that. So now I know I am going to do this whole thing and then this whole thing and then I'm going to subtract.
The whole thing?
Everything on the left or everything on the right from everything on the left.
So like once you get your answers and then you once you get both answers and then subtract
Yep.
that whole thing. So you
Yep.
have your two answers together
Yep.
and you subtract it.
Yep. Now here's the problem. This is easy to do on a calculator if you are good with your calculator. But if you're not, to punch this into a calculator properly, you are probably going to have to push 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 buttons. Is it possible in 19 button pushes with your texting thumbs, because that's what you all use, that you could hit the wrong button?
No.
Yes, of course it is. And when you get the complete wrong answer, what are you going to write down? The wrong answer. Why? My calculator said so. It's smarter than I am.
It is. I thought.
So, this is what I mean by you guys refuse to show your work. Unless you are very good friends with your calculator, like you really know how to work it, you should do this in 2 steps. I would do this one. Now, to punch that into your calculator, of course, you're going to do negative 2.4 divided by 1.2, and you're going to get negative 2, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay? Then you're going to come over here and you're going to do 7 times 0.2, and you're going to get 1.4, right? And what's the operation in the middle? Minus. Negative 2 minus 1.4.
3.4.
Negative 3.4. Now, like I say, some people are good enough with their calculator, especially after doing grade 9 math already. You can punch that in all the way. Some of your calculators are smart enough to do it right. Here's the problem. Not all calculators are. But if you set it up this way, your calculator will do it right. If you go step by step. Does everybody understand? You have to know your calculator. If your calculator is smart enough to handle it, go ahead and punch it all in. But the only way you're going to know if your calculator is smart enough to handle it is if you actually do it, right? So let's look at this one. Are there some BEDMAS brackets in there? Yeah, because there's an operation there. So I got to do this first, right? So I'm going to go ahead and do that. What is negative 3.4 plus 0.6? Most of you probably can't do it in your head, so you go to your calculator. What is it? Negative 2.8. And then I rewrite plus 4 times 0.2. Now what? Multiply. I got to put in some brackets so I do it right. Oh, okay. So it's negative 2.8 plus whatever this answer is. What is this answer?
.8.
0.8. Negative 2.8 plus 0.8 is negative 2. Okay?
Yeah, my calculator did it.
Great. Then you're okay.
Oh, perfect, great.
Okay? But here's the problem, Aiden. Again, when you look at this question, really, how easy is it?
Pretty easy.
Like when you think about it, it's not that hard. We think it's hard a little because there's decimals and crap. But for your calculator, is decimals a problem? No. So this is actually a really easy question. Even to punch into your calculator. Your calculator will probably do it right. What haven't we put in here?
Fractions.
There's no fractions, and there's no exponents. So you've got to be careful. Because once you add exponents to the mix, trying to do it all in your calculator gets a little bit more difficult. Okay? That's why we start easy. So you can get used to your calculators. Okay? Okay, so you guys go ahead, rock these out. I don't care how you do it. Use your calculator, do whatever you need to do.
No.
Mine broke my,
He took my calculator.
he broke my calculator.
I did not.
He did.
Didn't touch it.
Oh, look at it.
Right, you're opening it right now.
Mr. Myers, this water is very good.
Did it come out of a tap at Abbotsford?
No, it came out of any machine down below.
Oh, then yes, it probably is very good. If it came out of a tap in Abbotsford, it's not going to be very good.
Why not? That's the
Abbotsford water is disgusting.
Vancouver tap water is good.
Vancouver's tap water is delicious.
Yeah.
Chilliwack's tap water is delicious. Abbotsford's tap water tastes like you went swimming at MSA and took a big slug.
Why is ours not good?
Because it's incredibly chlorinated.
Have you ever closed water?
How does it get chlorinated? Isn't it fresh
You let
water?
your hose run.
They add chlorine to it
Why?
because
No, like I don't shove
water
it.
can contain, water is the best fluid for growing sickness in. Our water actually comes from up the hill in Mission.
Oh,
Unless you live over there, and then it comes from the Clearbrook Aquifer.
that's where I live.
The water over there is pretty good. Down by the airport, if you're on the Clearbrook water system, the water is pretty tasty. But if you live over on this side of town or in Mission, your water is bleh. Yeah.
My dad only gets spring water. Like, there's this, like, spring in Mission, because he lives there, and he just gets the
Mission Springs. All right, who has an answer for me? Who has an answer for me? What is it?
0.2.
Negative 0.2.
Yeah, you're like 17.
Who has an answer over here for me?
It's 4.4.
1.4.
What kind of 1.4?
Negative.
Negative 1.4. Could everybody make that happen with their calculator?
Yeah.
If they had one. Okay? Is everybody good?
No.
Is there anybody that couldn't make that happen with their calculator? Okay, yeah, Craig, that little calculator you have it's not going to work.
No, I got one at home.
Yeah, I know. So, Craig, if you find yourself stuck, you're writing a test, you've got a dinky teacher that won't give you another calculator, you happen to have that little one, then you got to go step by step, right? You got to do this divided by this and write it out. That answer is going to be negative 3. Then you got to do that minus that plus negative 3.
Go with like one of those and type it all in.
Yeah.
From the start to finish? And then
Pretty much.
equals and then it'll give you answers?
For most calculators, it will. Sometimes it won't. That's what I'm saying. You got to know what your machine will do. That's why I give you the practice. Because if you've got a good calculator, like most of you have, it's okay. And as we go further into time, the calculators get better and better. When I was your guys' age, there was maybe 2 calculators in the whole classroom that you could punch that into and have it work. Maybe, if the kids were rich. My calculator was not. I had a piece of crap calculator because we were dirt poor.
Texas Instruments a good calculator.
Yes. All right. That calculator, Riley, is enough calculator to get you through all of high school math. You will never need to buy another
I
calculator.
stole it from someone.
Yeah, that one too. That one will get you all the way through university. That one will put a probe around Pluto, if you know what you're doing with it. All right, here we go. Now, guys. Whoa! That was bad. Fractions. Do any rules change?
No.
No, we still follow the same BEDMAS rules. We just got to do what we already know how to do. So this is real good practice for our next quiz, yeah?
Yeah.
Because our next quiz is on, indeed, adding and on multiplying and dividing of fractions, which we have here. Where do I have to start with A?
3 over 4.
Brackets.
Right, I got to do the brackets. It's subtraction, so I need a common denominator, yeah? What is it? 8. Did the 8 change?
No.
So does the 7 change?
No.
No, so I keep the negative 7. What happens to the 3?
Times by 2.
Times it by 2, so it becomes 6. What's 6 minus 7? Negative 1 over 8. Divided by. We don't really divide. What do? Multiply by what? 16 over 5. And that's a negative, isn't it? Because of the negative. Do I care about the negatives? No. So I'm going to go ahead and erase them. Because the answer is going to be what? They're both the same sign. Positive. Now, check diagonally. Do 8 and 5 work? 8 and 16 work?
Yes.
How many 8s fit into 8? How many 8s fit into 16? 2. What's 1 times 2? 2. What's 1 times 5? And I'm done. What about this one?
That's nice up here.
Are there brackets?
No.
No, there aren't. So I can just go ahead and work. What do? Multiply or add? Multiply. Check. Diagonally. Do 2 and 6 work? Do 2 and 6 work?
Yeah.
What?
2.
How many 2's go into 2?
1.
How many 2's go into 6?
3.
3. What's 1 times 1?
1.
3 times 3? 9. And I need a negative, don't I? Plus 1/2. Can I put those two together? Why? Can I do this addition?
Yes. No.
Not right now, Paneet. What do I got to do first? What is it? 18. So what did I multiply 1 by?
By 3.
By
2.
2. So that's negative 2. And what did I multiply this guy by?
9.
9. So that's positive 9.
I'm saying all this guys do the same thing.
What's negative 2 plus 9?
7.
Positive 7 over 18. And I'm done. Cool?
Yes.
Okay. You guys do this guy. Remember, you don't need to fill in every blank. And you can do the next one too. Remember, you don't need to fill in every blank. Do what works for you. Remember this over here? This is your thinking. This is to help you get ready to do it on your own. Why did I leave 3/4 alone here? Because I got to do my multiplying first. What works with 2 and 4? 1, 2. 1 times 1 is 1. 3 times 2 is 6. Right? Now, can I add them together? One 6 doesn't work, does it?
3 and 6.
So this becomes plus negative 1/6, yes? And once we're adding, I need a common denominator, right?
Yes.
So which has to change? They both do, don't they? So let's change 6 first. Plus what? What's my new common denominator?
24.
24? Will 24 work? Is there another number that will work that's smaller?
12.
12. So that's 2 over 12, yeah? Now if this changed to 12, what's this guy got to become?
12.
12, so how do I get it there? Times what?
3.
And times what?
3.
To get 9 over 12 plus negative 2 over 12. What's 9 and then negative 2? 7 over 12. Everybody good? Okay. Do the last one. Why am I doing divide first? There's brackets all over this thing. They're not BEDMAS brackets. What is the reciprocal that I need? 5 over 1. So let's go ahead and do that. 1 times 5 is what? Negative 5 over 6. Now I got to add them together. What's my common denominator? 6. So did I change this guy? So he stays as negative 5 over 6. What does this guy got to do? Times by 3, times by 3 to get what? Negative 9 over 6. What's negative 5 and then negative 9 more? Negative 14 over 6. Are we happy with that? We can make it better. To what?
Negative 7 over 3.
Negative 7 over 3. Can we do one more thing to that if we want?
Yeah, we can make it improper.
It's already improper.
No, sorry, what's it called?
Mixed numeral.
But you accept both.
Yes, I would. Absolutely. Everybody good? All right. Now, this last thing is when BEDMAS is used in real life. It's the only time that it really comes into play. If you are doing a formula. If you are doing a formula, you're going to need to do BEDMAS. When does this happen in real life? About once. If you win a contest. How many of you guys have won something at McDonald's? On Monopoly or something?
Yeah, I have.
And on the back of the ticket it says you got to answer a skill testing question, don't you?
No. And if you get
Technically it does. Just wait. Technically it does, because legally in Canada you are not allowed to win stuff. You have to do something to earn it. So, you got to do a skill testing question. And the skill testing question is always math. Here's what's funny. No, it's always a BEDMAS question. It's always easy. But here's what's funny. I once won something at McDonald's, and the girl at the till says, you got to fill in the back. And I say, yeah, okay, whatever. I turn it over, and I start looking at it, and she says, it's 7. And I'm looking at it like, no, it's not. And she's like, yeah, it is. I'm a math teacher. It's not 7. It is. So I did the math. It wasn't 7.
What was it?
It was like 21 or something. Who cares? Doesn't matter. The point is, she was like, it's 7. She didn't know BEDMAS. Now, of course, the only time this would apply, they would never do it to you, but legally, you could win a $20 million lottery prize, and if you couldn't do the skill testing question, they wouldn't have to give it to you.
How many?
Legally. None.
I assume you're gonna have to like do it on.
You got to do it on the spot. Legally. There's a lot of weird rules.
Like there better be no math
Right.
questions.
If I win something from now on, I'm just going to bring a calculator.
No, you've got your phone.
Are you allowed to?
You can use
Yeah.
it. Oh, that's what I thought.
You still got to know how to punch it in.
Picture math.
Photo map.
Yeah,
Call your
yeah,
friend, be like,
Yeah, phone a friend. Text, Mr. Myers, I'm about to win $20 million. Remind me how to do BEDMAS.
I'd be like,
But anyway, it's never going to happen, but it's a fun story to tell.
yeah, maybe no water.
So anyway, here's the formula. Right now, we do use formulas a lot, don't we? Area, surface area, converting measurements, miles to kilometers, all that stuff. So this one will take Celsius, Fahrenheit, and convert it to Celsius.
oh, I know how to do this.
So we take the formula C equals bracket F minus 32 divided by 1.8. Now what do I have? Do I have the Fahrenheit or the Celsius? Fahrenheit. So where does it go for F or C? F. 28.4 minus 32 divided by 1.8. So punch that into your calculator. Make sure you do it right. Tell me what the Celsius is. If it's 28.4 Fahrenheit, what is it in Celsius? Make sure you're doing it okay.
Negative something.
Yes, it will of course be negative because you can tell that this is going to be negative and this is positive. Negative 2. Everybody cool?
Yes.
Great. Now let's do something fun just because I kind of dig it. It's negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit. How cold is it in Celsius?
Negative 40.
Damn, screw you, Dylan. Fahrenheit and Celsius catch up to each other at negative 40. Huh? Dylan knows I'm kidding. That's why I had a big smile on my face. He also knew what he was doing. He did it on purpose. That's not true. I can turn the smile off my face real easy. Watch. You don't think I could make it through the rest of the day like this?
Actually, I don't want to make that bet because I don't want it to be right.
You don't have to bet.
See? I made you do it.
Okay, notice here I've changed it around. Now we're finding Fahrenheit when we know Celsius. Please notice it's a different formula. Fill it in. Tell me what the answer is. I put the Celsius in for C, and then I just do the math. If you're getting good with your calculator, you should be able to punch it in all at once. If you're not getting good with your calculator, you may need to take a few steps. That's what the blanks are for. Who's got an answer for me? No.
9.5.
It is indeed 9.5.
Yes, it is.
Everybody cool?
Awesome.
Okay. I'm going to stop the recording. Actually, I'm not quite going to stop the recording. I'm going to go to the outline and say, for order of operations, guys, I only want you to do literally 2 questions. I want you to do this. I want you to do on page 140. I'm a big liar. I want you to do 3 questions. 7, 9, and 12. Now listen to me. I'm going to give you the quiz now. Remember, you only need to do question 1 and 2 if you want better marks from your first quiz. Okay? Everybody understand that?
Understood, sir.
So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to get this out. This is going to take us to the end of the day. So you do this, then you do this, and then the day will be over. Got it?
Well, it's not.
We leave early.
No.
The day won't be over this.
Yes, just school. Everybody cool?
Yep.
Because it's 12:34. We've got 35 minutes left. I was going to give you 20 minutes for the quiz and 15 minutes to work on that. Should just be about perfect. Yeah?
How generous.
Okay. Remember, you only need to do 1 and 2 if you want to improve your grade from the first quiz.
You got them completely wrong. It doesn't matter.
No, you can't get worse. You can only get better.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Thank you, Mr. Myers.
Make sure you put your name on this. Cool?
Cool.
And when you finish this, you work on this. All right? Tomorrow, we're going to do our last 2 sets of notes. We're going to do quiz 3. We're going to do a review. And because tomorrow is Friday, we're going to do something that is still mathy but slightly fun.
Chess.
No. Okay? Everybody good?
Bring Xbox 360.
And that'll be tomorrow, and then we'll have...
Fun day Friday.
No. We will do one of the blocks tomorrow. We will do something that is slightly more relaxed. And then we will test on our first unit, 3rd block, Monday. Okay? The block from 10:50 to 11:50 on Monday. Everybody cool? Okay. Remember, guys, again, you only need to do the first question if you want better marks. Make sure you put your name on it.
Thanks, bud.
And guys, until everybody's done their quiz, I would appreciate silence for the people that need it. Oh, lame.
It's right there.
Oh, lame. Okay, guys, zip it please and go. Make sure you put your name on it. Nobody forgot the first quiz. It made me very happy. Books away. You may use calculators when you need to. But again, please remember, I do say no calculator, show your work. But that's one of those times when I say no calculator, I mean you got to write down what you're doing. Like if you need your calculator to do 28 plus 32, can't do that in your head, then go ahead and use your calculator for that. Okay, I want this quiz to look like your notes would look, how we do all the steps. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. But you can still use your calculators. Obey it. Oh, because there's 2 possible steps you can fill in there. You don't have to use them both.
Is that 2 marks if you fill in?
No. It's just there if you need it. And remember, 1 and 2 you only have to do if you want to improve your grade. Because it's the same question, just with different numbers. Oh, sorry, gentlemen. Is the answer positive or negative? Oh, that's it. You don't have to do it. Every time I hand this test out, I get kids putting in the right answers there. I just want to know if it's going to be positive or negative. That's it. Aiden. These 2. 1 and 2. 1 A, B, and 2. That is what you do to improve your grade. If you wish, that's how you're going to do it. That's fine.
So why are there two equal signs like here?
Well, because you could take 2 steps to do that.
Oh, okay.
If you want,
No, I know,
you don't
I
need
know.
to.
I know.
Some people will want to turn that improper and then do it that way, which would be okay.